Let's take a quick look at adding audio effects within Resolve 18.5, and we can add our effects on the edit page or Fairlight, but we'll go ahead and start on the edit page. And also keep in mind that the effects can be added at the clip level to our individual clips on a track, or they could be added to the track level. And when we add them to the track, it's going to apply to every single clip that is on that track. So let's go ahead and take a look at that first, adding at the track level. Let me jump out here and let's play this back and hear how it sounds. Of course, as she was saying, they have bit of different style in the north and south, but okay, so that's a dry signal. Now we can come to the top left and we have our effects here. So let's go ahead and click to open up that panel. Then down at the bottom, we have our audio effects. I'm going to select Fairlight effects. And let's just say I want to put some reverb on here. Now to add it to the track, I can click, hold, and drag and just put it on top of the track header there. And then we have this plugin that pops up, and these are all of the parameters for our reverb control. This is kind of the space for it. And let's just play this back and hear how that sounds. Of course, as she was saying, they have different style in the we can adjust the blend between that dry and wet. Central and Da Nang. So these are like final preparations to prepare. Okay, and we can also adjust the room size here. So if I come to one of these points, let's click and drag to increase the height, the length, and then let's give a listen to how that sounds. Of course, as you say, okay, so lots of cool parameters to play with to really tweak this to get it how you'd like it for whatever you are working with. Now, if we would like to remove a plugin, just simply closing the window is not going to remove that. That's still applied. So let's come to the top right corner to our inspector and open that up. And we're going to see our audio parameters for the clip. This is highlighted, but we want to see for our entire track because that's where we added it to. So I'll click on the track header, and then you see our inspector switches, and then we can come to the effects, and then we can see our reverb. If we'd like to leave the reverb on but just turn it off, we can click on the slider. Once it's gray, then we know final preparations that it's turned off. Switching, we turn it back on. If we'd like to access the plugin window itself, again, then we can click on this button here, and we can then again access those controls. But let's close it out, and we can also make use of the controls here without opening up the window, but we'd like to remove it completely, so we can click on the trash can icon here and just take that out. Now there's a ton of different effects that we can make use of here, so we'll just give one more a try here, maybe the chorus. I'm going to add this to the track header. So again, this is going to apply to all of the clips on the track. Let's play this back. Okay, that just looks gorgeous. So if you're in the States, guys, and you order traditional... So this could be cool for getting kind of a robotic effect if you're looking for that. And we will, again, take this out of here, the chorus, clicking on the trash can. And something I want to show, another cool effect that you might find useful is while this clip is selected, just by clicking once, we switch back to the audio. We have a pitch control here. And we can change in semitones by -20 or +24, so plus or minus 2 octaves. We can also adjust in cents. 100 cents equals 1 semitone. This just gives us finer control. But I'm going to take this down, and you've heard this effect maybe in some documentaries or news stories where they want to disguise the speaker's voice, and we can pitch it down. So let's give a listen to that.
Okay, that just looks gorgeous. So if you're in the States, guys, and you order traditional,
we can even pitch that up for a chipmunk effect.
They have bit of different style in the north and south, but this is from
Okay. Now also while we have the audio selected, we can adjust its level, its pan. We have a dialogue leveler. If we scroll down a bit, we even have an equalizer here, so we can activate that by clicking on the slider and make some adjustments here. Let's turn that back off. And let's come back to our pitch, and to reset, I'm just going to click on this reset button here. Now, if we'd like to apply an effect to a specific area of a clip, say this area here, let's position our play head there, and I'm going to make a cut here, come here and make a cut. I've already kind of marked these areas where I know that I'd like this effect to be. Be sure that we have this audio clip selected by clicking once. And I'm going to grab the echo and just click, hold, and drag that to the audio clip itself. Now that's been added, we'll move that out of the way a little bit. I'm going to press J to play back in reverse. Tap that again to speed it up. K to stop. Now let's play forward with L.
Okay, that just looks gorgeous. So if you're in the States, guys, and
Okay,
you
so we're
order-
only hearing that effect on this specific part.
Okay, that just looks gorgeous.
And you can tell that you have an effect on the individual clip because we see this effects box down below. And if we want to access the controls within our inspector, while this audio clip is selected with the red frame, we can come to the effects tab. Let's open that up and we can see our echo. So we can adjust the parameters here in the inspector, or as we saw earlier, we can click on this button to open up the plugin window and make the adjustments here. And again, if we'd like to remove, we can click on the trash can button. Now let's move on to the Fairlight page, and let's take a look at how we can go about adding the effects here. Now in the top left corner, we have an effects tab as well. So we could do the same thing. We could come in and maybe say, take this flanger and let's click, hold, and drag it onto that clip that we split. Our plugin window opens up. Let's play this back.
Okay, that just looks gorgeous. So if you're in the States...
Okay, so that's just being applied to that single clip where we made the cuts. And if I zoom in by holding Alt and use my mouse wheel, we can see we have the effects badges down here letting us know that this clip has an effect on it. Let's close the window here. Now, if we'd like to add an effect to the track, we could also click, hold, and drag onto the track itself. We could also come over to our mixer, and this is our audio 1. We can click on the plus, and we've got a menu here where we can choose what we'd like to use. We'll come back to the reverb. Actually, I'll use a third-party Spark Verb here. So you can, if you have third-party VSTs, you can actually make use of those as well. I've got Spark Verb. This is one of my favorite reverbs. We'll put on this huge Curiosity one. And let's move this out of the way a bit. And this is being applied to the entire track.
Guys, and you order traditional panciao. This is a bit of what it should look like. Of course, as she was saying, they have different style in the north and south. But
okay. So a really huge reverb. I love that. Now over in the mixer, we can also change the order for our effects, dynamics, and EQ. Right now we're doing effects to dynamics and then EQ, but we can click once on this and then change the order here within this window. We also have dynamics and EQ built into our channel here, our channel strip, so we can double click to access those dynamics. And we've got an expander, gate, compressor. We can just activate these by clicking on the little slider. We've got a limiter. Let's close that out. And then we have our EQ here. We can double click to access these controls, that plugin window. And if you want to ever temporarily disable these, notice that these are colored right now, but if I click once, then that turns gray. The EQ, that turns gray. So these are being disabled when we click once. And then again, to access the actual plugin window, we double click. And then we can access the parameters there. Okay, so this has been a quick look at adding effects within Resolve 18.5. Experiment and have fun, guys. I'll see you in the next tutorial.